Approval of tonight's agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions from this tonight? If not, call for a motion that we approve tonight's agenda as it is printed.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have no appointments and presentations at this point. And at this time, we usually have some visitor presentations, but I'm going to make things perfectly clear tonight. This is the Eveleth City Council meeting, and it's to discuss Eveleth City business. We don't discuss the operation of the school board or their property. That's where they have elected officials there. So, and if it's anything other than that, you can have 5 minutes, but as soon as you start getting off base, I'm just cutting you off and moving on. If not, to move on to the consent agenda.
I'd like to talk.
Is it about city business?
Yes,
Or school business?
it's a mix of the two.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
You've already called the news stations, you've got Channel 6 here, you filed a lawsuit against us, which you lost. I think you said enough as far as I'm concerned.
I just wanted to talk about the contract between the city and the.
No, we don't talk about legal matters at a council meeting.
Okay, fair enough. And can I say one more thing, that there's one person that wanted to talk, but they're on their way, so.
Well, we're moving on,
Okay.
we got stuff.
Just so you know.
Item G, consent agenda, approval of payroll, June 1st through the 15th, approval of claims, proclamation in honor and memory of El Zupancic, request for Officer Goulet, Officer Pashati to attend Minnesota State Association of Narcotics Investigators Conference, and request for Dan Nitz, wastewater treatment operator, to attend Minnesota Operators Association Conference. Anybody have any questions? Not, can approve the consent agenda?
Mayor, I wonder if we might, with the approval, have the proclamation honoring Al Zupancic read. Would that be all right?
Absolutely. Jack, you got it there?
I tried to, my mic doesn't work, but can you hear me okay? Okay, sure I can.
Did we put that in both papers? I saw it in,
Yes, we did.
okay, saw it in the focus.
Proclamation in honor and memory of Al Zupancic. Whereas the Eveleth City Council and its citizens have lost a great patron with the passing of Al Zupancic on June 14, 2021. And whereas Al Zupancic owned and operated the Eveleth Country Foods IGA for nearly 40 years. And whereas Al Zupancic is to be recognized as a respected businessman and pillar in Eveleth's community, and to be remembered for his kindness, generosity, and humility. Whereas Al Zupancic supported most every cause, fundraiser, or event brought to his attention, often without receiving acknowledgement for his giving, even when it meant sacrificing his needs or the needs of his business. Whereas Al Zupancic identified the importance of keeping a viable grocery store operative for Eveleth residents, and in order to maintain the local hometown grocery store, declined to profit from the sale of his building when approached to sell it. Whereas Al Zupancic has been admired by his employees, friends, and acquaintances as trustworthy, reliable, respected, patient, kind, humble, generous, and community-spirited. Whereas Al Zupancic will be missed by all those whose lives he's touched during his life, especially the Eveleth community. And whereas the legacy of Al Zupancic as a true humanitarian will be carried on by his employees and supporters of the Eveleth Country Foods IGA and the Eveleth neighborhood.
You know, Al was probably the most generous person I have ever known. No matter what the event, you know, he always stepped up to contribute. He was just fantastic, and I know he turned down being Grand Marshal of the parade a couple times. I was hoping he would took that honor. But there's not many people like him in the world, I'll tell you that. It's really going to be missed. Any further discussion? Do we have a motion and a support, Steph? Okay, a motion to approve the consent agenda? So moved. Motion made by Koivunen. We have a support? Support. Support by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. There are no public hearings, no unfinished business. We'll move on to new business. Resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of a taxable general obligation grant anticipation note. Anybody have any questions? Jackie could elaborate on that. If not, call for a motion that we approve this resolution.
So move.
It's made by Purpich, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Lillis, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Resolution authorizing the city of Eveleth to make application to and accept funds from the Minnesota Department of Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation for 2022 work on Roosevelt Avenue and Douglas Avenue utility project. Those are county state aid streets and we're just doing the utilities. County pays for the surfacing and curbing. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried.
I don't think we had a motion.
Oh, we might have skipped that part.
Didn't you support?
I supported a motion, but I don't
Somebody
think it
make
was that
one?
one. That was the previous one.
I'll make that
Oh,
motion.
motion made by Lillis, support by
support it.
Rousey.
There you go.
How the heck did you support a motion? We did
It was the previous one. Previous one.
You gotta catch up a
No,
little
no,
bit
no,
here.
you skipped away, you.
One and two comes after one. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye, opposed, motion carried. Item number 3, pay request number 2 from Vate and Company in the amount of $218,689.80 for Garfield Street reconstruction. Ellen, how are you doing on the project?
Well, they're making pretty good progress. They're into that third block. They still got all the utilities to put in there, working on some of the deeper stuff. I think they got the water main pulled through, but not the services, and their storm sewer and sanitary sewer is in progress.
Is it easier than the first one?
It is, everything's going a lot better. They haven't run into any significant issues or anything like that yet, so.
So how's our timeline?
They still feel like they're on schedule.
Okay.
The utilities obviously take a lot longer than surface work.
Good.
It'll happen a lot quicker once we got all the utilities done.
I still like to know what they used to dig that first block. Everything was so deep. I just can't imagine. Must have been by hand, I assume. 100 years ago. What did you have? Anybody have any questions on pay request number 2? If not, I'll call for a motion that we approve that.
So move.
Motion made by Purpich. We got a support? Support. Support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Consider the purchase of a used pickup for all departments. Mark, did you check that one out?
I checked that one out and,
We're good to go.
it's good to go, yeah. We got the approval from you, mayor, and the council. We're down another vehicle, the transmission went out on a golf course vehicle, so we're down 2 vehicles right now. I don't know when the half-ton in our new utility truck will be here.
I think,
September, October roughly, so.
Could even be
we're
longer
looking
than
at this one to
that.
get us by, I guess, for right now.
When can we pick it up?
It's ready to go soon.
Ready to go, as soon as we get the approval, we'll pick it up tomorrow.
As soon as we approve it, Jackie can cut the check.
There it is.
And we'll put number 3 down to the street.
They'll be styling.
And Jerry will be driving the 2008 for a while.
Well, I'll make that motion. You should keep Jerry out of that.
Yeah, and I'll second that.
Yeah.
Motion made by Rousey, support by Koivunen to complete the purchase. Any further discussion?
Is the one that, with the golf course one is gonna be repaired or not repaired?
We are looking into that right now. I mean, the floorboards, it's all rusted out and everything on the bottom, so like, we can kind of see daylight down there, but it does have the fuel tanks in the back for the golf course equipment and
Okay.
everything, and also at the hip, so.
And what model is that?
That is, it's an F-150, I don't know if that's a 2002, I think.
Seen better days.
I'm not exact sure if that's the right year or not, but it's seen its years in time, but we're looking into maybe trying to find a used transmission and maybe a Band-Aid on it, I guess, for now, too.
Okay.
And find one at the right price, I guess.
You just,
It's gonna keep falling apart on us, you know, those older vehicles, and there has no suspension or frame to hold it to.
It's, yeah, it's not in real good shape.
Okay, just wondered.
you know, it's so desperate out there, nobody's got any inventory. And the used stuff is going through the moon. We're lucky we found that one.
Yeah.
Went out and talked to Bruce and And a 3/4 ton, you know, is by choice.
And there'll be another vehicle we can maybe tow a little extra stuff with too.
That's what I'm thinking,
So I think it'll be good for the long haul, I guess.
all right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 5, consider request to St. Louis County to demolish tax forfeit property located at 207 Grant Avenue, Eveleth. Do we have any questions, or?
We made the request to them to tear it down, or?
Yeah, we're gonna make a request, so that's, after we got the architect's report on the
Yeah.
building,
Yeah.
pretty bad, pretty bad. I was hoping you wouldn't have to knock another building down on a main street, but what are you gonna do?
Well, if you look at the roof of that up there, I mean, there's tin that's coming off. Piece of that tin comes off and slices somebody like a can of sardines, so I mean, doesn't take lots, it's gotta be done.
And then you end up with all kinds of other animals and maybe some squatters even at that point there too, so.
Well, like I say, the stairways slanted going upstairs, everything, so we'll have to figure out what to do with that hole when we get it.
The building's deemed unlivable, unsafe, it's gotta go.
Yeah,
It's unrepairable, it's gotta go. I don't like to see buildings go either,
No.
but
nobody has any questions, call for a motion that we send this request to St. Louis County.
So move.
It's made by Purpich, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Lillis, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Number 6, bids on West Eveleth Lot, 18D 17th Avenue. Am I correct, Joe Stelecker and Joan are the successful bidders?
It seems like it to me. It's up to you folks.
Well, Joe just built a new house there. Anybody have any questions? We only had 2 bids.
Yeah, we had the two bids.
Yeah,
I thought that was a pretty generous
I
bid.
do too, and we're out of lots out there.
Yeah.
And I do believe that both participants were going to leave it sort of like it is
Yeah.
vacant and stuff, so the family that's other can still enjoy it like they were, you know.
It'll be
still
kind of a-
continue being wonderful neighbors and everything's
Kind of
cool.
a neighborhood thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the way they keep their properties, you know, that'll be
No,
kept
that'll
up.
be,
Well, probably a good move.
I think so. I think it'll be nice. Win-win.
Yeah, I don't blame anybody now for not trying to build anything, because a $15,000 garage normally right now is about a $35,000 garage.
And wait
so-
till hurricane season's over.
Yeah.
Just starting.
Just started, the first one's hitting.
Well, anyway, I'll make the motion. that we
John,
go
gonna
ahead
make
and
a
award.
motion that we accept that bid from the Seleckers? You have support?
Support.
Support by Purpich, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 7, ambulance billing contract with McAlpin Consulting, Medical Billing Services. Jack, you wanna elaborate a little bit what we're doing there?
Sure, so, our current billing companies have changed hands, and the service isn't quite what, the EMS operations supervisor and I have expected, so, Therese reached out to some other ambulance services and asked who they work with, so we had a conference call with the owner of the company and the first people that actually do the work. And so we're very pleased with the level of service they want to provide us, and we find it'll be enhanced service at the city level. And we feel like the cost is comparable, because we're gonna be quick right getting the runs out the door, okay? And so, we'd like to move ahead August 1st to move our billing over.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions on that? I know we had some bumps in the road like a year ago or so.
Yeah, yeah,
Some of the billing, I think, was real late, or
correct.
if no one has any questions, I'd like to approve this motion. Changing the billing contractor. You make that one, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Motion made by Lillis, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Purpich, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. That's, new business is done. Anybody have any board reports or committee reports? What do we have, mission meeting, I think? Thursday, do we have, when was the last one? Is that before the last meeting?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
We had a HRA, I believe.
Hey, do we have a new managing agent at Lincoln Place?
you.
Well,
Yes, we do. And Jackie can fill you in if you want to. I know that their headquarters out of Walker
Correct.
and very reputable and,
Yeah, correct.
but yeah, someone who's moving in there and we'll give it a go once again.
Is that the one out of Walker they got the one in Mountain Iron?
Yes.
Okay,
And
that's,
one in Virginia, it's
yeah.
E.W. Jones.
yes, that's the name of it.
Highly recommended.
It's a good company.
Yeah. I was up there with them, last Thursday. We had a nice tour, they brought the on-site manager, the maintenance fellow, they went into a couple apartments, and it's a really nice facility. We have got a
Yes.
tool here in Eveleth, some really wonderful apartments.
As far as the report on top of Clay Street up there, Clay Court area, everything is going as planned, all within budget, everything is moving along, and depending on how much monies we can get is how much more repairs we do. Simple as that. So, but everything right now is passing in the 90s and gotta be happy with that.
that's good, because that place has come a long way from what it was years ago.
It's well managed too. I'm really happy with that company. They do a good job.
They do. They do it. Anybody else have anything?
We did, I believe, have a fire department shared services
okay.
committee meeting since we last met as the council, and things are moving along, they're moving along slowly. The summer months, it's a little more difficult to get all the committee members to attend at one time, but, you know, it is moving along. I still anticipate it's gonna be a matter of probably years before it comes to total fruition, but we're still meeting, and we plan to meet again this month.
Coming next Monday.
Yep.
Did we ever do a name change?
We
Yes.
approved the
Did we
name.
approve that?
Yeah, we approved that last meeting.
If we postponed that or approved it?
We approved it, but we postponed any type of public interaction until more of our questions
Oh, okay.
are formulated. I believe that's what it was, those Q&A questions.
Yeah, and we need to get a little bit further along with the proceedings, you know, the base of the operation before we.
So we can answer the questions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a lot of questions that are still up in the air that, you know, we as a committee need to come together and have answered before we can intelligently put it before the council or the town board, so. But optimistic, a lot more optimistic than a few months ago, I guess, so.
Well, it's a big move, you know.
Yeah. The numbers have downsized. They downsized the number of personnel that are participating.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little less of a larger group, but it's still well
Got a
represented.
good working relationship now. You don't wanna, you know, stress that out
No,
and stuff.
no, everything
They
is,
do real well.
I think everything is going as good as can be expected at this point in time. I really do.
Well, that's good. Because I know we've been working on it, but you just have to have patience with that project.
And it's always a 5-year plan.
Chief, you got anything to add?
Thanks, sir.
You survived this weekend, eh? Got a pretty tough crew if they lasted all those days.
Done pretty well.
Mark, you got anything?
No, sir. I'm good.
Ellen?
No, the aqua fireworks were pretty neat, so better than the other years when I've seen them, so I add that compliment, I guess.
Guess they had a little sideshow up there, eh? A little.
Yeah.
They
Just so they could see what they were doing.
See
Come
what they were
on.
doing.
That was to be expected, I think.
It burns every year.
Just about.
At some point.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have that,
It just burned a little
Out
bit
of a
more than
fire
usual
going.
this year.
Oh, yeah.
you know,
All that noise, I had to sit up with the dog till midnight before she'd go to sleep. She was kinda upset.
I think everybody involved did a great job from, you know, the 4th of July committee down to all of the employees. I mean, everybody, the police. I've heard nothing but people saying, I can't believe they can beat it, but they did this year. And I made the comment before our meeting, I says, when you have a population of a little over 3,000 people, and for one night you put 10,000 in, and only have 2 or 3 calls, and for most of everything, everybody made it home safely, and then they take a day off and they come back on Monday morning, another 5,000 people, and the streets look great, and that's all I can do is say thank you to everybody. Because it was one hell of a 4th of July here in Eveleth, from what I hear.
You got all that pent up energy because of last
Yep.
year, you know. No, it's nice to see everybody having a good time and a safe time. Steph, you got anything to add, or, you know, you were on vacation, but. Jackie, you got anything?
Thanks for asking.
Carl, we'd like to welcome you here.
Thank you, thank you.
Usually because your predecessor was always late, we leave that side door open, you can sneak in.
Oh, is that what it is? That'll be the last time.
He didn't tell you that, did he?
Come in this side.
Is that what, man, no slack.
Yeah.
Carl's our new attorney who will be attending the council meetings now. A lot of experience, and that's what we need. And John, you got anything to add?
You know, I wouldn't feel right if I didn't say something. And as you know, things went fairly well on the 4th of July, or the 3rd and stuff. But there was a lot of ambulance work was going on. And without the help of our PD and fire department, it would be a mess. It's just how well they all work together. And I want to put out a special thanks to all the officers and the temps that had to get used to me out there. They did a wonderful job. We're always there for us. And we had a couple of pretty good calls, you know what I mean, that were high risk, one that was pretty serious and stuff. But it all went well, and I want to thank you, and I want to thank you guys. But tell them don't let it go to their heads. But it was good. Without that kind of help, things would be a lot worse. So it's great cooperation.
They always have a good teamwork approach to any emergency call. That's what helps.
Used every agency on one call that we had in town.
Anything else there, John?
No, I'm sorry, that's enough.
Joe?
No, I think I've said enough.
Jim?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the city crew and the police departments and fire and ambulance. Nice, safe weekend, basically. Really good. Yeah, everything went fine.
That's good. Brian?
Well, I guess I'm last in line to thank you, but thank you anyway. I appreciate the work you do, and I think everybody appreciates the work you do, so that's all, Mayor.
That's like I say, you know, I never get any calls about any city employees. I mean, years ago, you used to always get, but they all do such a good job, keep things cleaned up and safe. Like I say, it's real important because that's what the people are paying for. And you guys do a great job, all the departments. You know what, one thing is maybe off subject. Every time you come around, my dog's always barking at you.
He's always telling me.
I don't get it.
Well, he probably smells pork chop on me or something.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
she
he
gets
does,
upset.
gives me the business every time out that window.
Yeah, she almost jumps out the car window at you. I've got nothing further to bring up, so meeting's adjourned.
That'll do.